Hi. So this video is going to be about my last ayahuasca experience and what you may just from doing this 5 or 6 times and knowing many people that have gone through the experience many times. I think I can sort of tell you what you can expect, although you can't really have expectations going into something like this. These are just some of the things that are sort of typical. But there's so much more that could be because this is just my experience. And then when I have an experience, then I kind of get a validation from other people, like, have y'all experienced this too? So like from that, I can sort of give you a what to expect thing. So welcome to my channel. Just saging a little bit. All right. Um, so first of all, you can go to a retreat with or without anyone. Like you can go with someone. It's not going to be it's not going to be a social experience while you're in the medicine, but after and before it could be helpful. Although personally, I like to be alone after, like, the entire week after ceremony, which was 2 weeks ago. It took me this long to like actually make a little video about it. Um, the whole week I was just down. I did not down like unhappy, but just didn't. I was worthless, like physically. Like I needed to sleep a lot. I was drained. My body was just drained, and it was super emotional. Like that's totally normal to be super emotional, for a week or so after ceremony, or for even just maybe a day or whatever. So okay, you can or don't have to go with anybody. Like it's a totally individual experience. Um, you want to be very, very comfortable. Like so, bring all kinds of changes of clothes and um, be prepared. Like super prepared. Like you may, if you're like me, you may pee on yourself during an ayahuasca experience, and I'll get into, like, I'll tell you why in a minute, and maybe it's too much information, but hey, you're watching my video, and this is my experience, so um, yeah, be prepared, super prepared. If it's cold, bring lots of blankets. You may even need to like help someone else with a blanket. So like bring as much stuff as you can if you're driving, of course. Um, Bring lots of changes of clothes. Just be comfortable. It is definitely the farthest thing away from a fashion show that you're going to ever be in. Like, do not have to look cute. No makeup. You do not have to bring not a piece of makeup. You're not going to wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I need to go put on makeup. That's not where you're going to be. You're not going to care about what you look like. You'll want to be clean. You'll go and take a shower. Make sure you have soap and shampoo or whatever. But you'll want to be clean, and then you'll want to be outside, like in nature, and just sort of processing what happened the night before or the day before. So yeah, be prepared. Um, Talking about like ceremony styles. So I've been in different ceremony styles where like some like a couple of them were very singy, like very like singing beautiful, beautiful songs in Spanish, like guitars and drums and everything, like the whole time. And then I've been in ceremonies where the tradition was more quiet, just quiet because you're going through your own process. And then I've been in a couple ceremonies, like the one that I went to this last time was absolutely amazing when it came to the Tata Pedro. He was from Colombia. So I'm not really sure if there's like a name of like the tribe or whatever, but it's a Colombian style ceremony. And he literally like controlled the entire room, what happened with different sounds. It was so wild, and it was so wild to watch. It would be like at first it was always quiet. At first it was always quiet. And then as the medicine starts working, he would do things to make you purge. He would not do things. He would start singing like some sort of a, and the voice that he used for these chants was like a throat, them deep throat singing voice. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called throat singing. Right? It's a deep, 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 weird tone of the voice. And it sounded like that's what he was doing, although I'm not quite sure, but it was really super powerful. Like he would make these noises and sing and walk around the room, kind of like dancing, like a little step, like a little two step, like with the little leaves and and he would do this thing that would sort of make everybody purge, or just even like he would play the harmonica, he would do the chimes. The I'm amazed at the musical genius of this dude because he plays everything. I think it looks like it anyway. The flute was super important in the ceremony too. The flute would do stuff to make you, and then there was like healing sounds. Like you could tell that the energy was more of a healing energy after a few hours, and kind of like everybody's already purged. Maybe you're about to take the second cup or third cup, and um, and it's a certain type of music that would go. So he would control, not control. Let me not say that. He would work with the medicine. He worked with the medicine through his sounds to make the purges come up, to do whatever it is the medicine was doing in your specific body, because everybody's different. Okay, so music should be some sort of music, probably will be. I'm not going to say should, probably will be part of it. I've had ceremonies where it was quiet the whole time. Just one, I think, and it was very strange. I don't know. Maybe it's good to get used to the quiet, And this one, it was quiet sometimes too. It wasn't a continuation of music. It was just when was needed, when the energy needed to shift or move or do something. There was some sort of sound or music he could play that would make it happen. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is visuals. So you could have visuals very lightly, and it could just be something like some geometric patterns or some beautiful lights, or, and these have all been my experiences, and when I talk to other people, they have verified that yes, this is something that other people have experienced as well. Um, so it could be super light. It could be super intense. And the different types of like visions that you may have. Um, one of them is like this, and I realized it in this last ceremony that it was the medicine going through my veins and arteries and going through my organs. As it was like I was watching, and it was super colorful and vivid, like literally the medicine going through my whole body. And what it looked like visually was just a bunch of swirlings and different colors swirling around. And it was very, very intense energy when that specific type of vision is happening. Energy is really, 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 really strong there. That's some strong medicine. That's good medicine. Um, let's see. So another type of visual. I've also been like the one that I said that was super quiet was my visuals were very light, and they were almost like stars everywhere. It was just like bright lights all over the place, and it was the ceremony where I don't think I did a video on it, but it wasn't super profound, like to where I needed to hurry up and run and do a video and tell everybody about it. But it was really beautiful. Like it was, I remember connecting to everything. I remember connecting to all the sounds, and the animals that were around and the stars, and it was just like a connection of everything. It was super beautiful and super like sweet and soft. Um, And okay, and that like my very first ceremony, uh, I believe, you know, it was. So I'm just going to say what it looked like, not my interpretation. That'll make it easier. I saw either two or three. It's been a while, so I can't completely remember. Most of your memories are kind of bullshit anyway. They kind of change. But from what I can remember, it was two or three female feeling entities, um, almost like doing surgery on me. They would be in my head, they'd be doing things, and they'd be talking to each other. so, so you may actually see spirits. Ayahuasca is a spirit. It's a spirit of the earth. So you may see spirit. Um, Super unscary, super beautiful. There's nothing wrong with anything that I'm saying. Like there's no, I've never had an experience that I wasn't like that I was upset at or scared of or something like that at the end, you know. All right, another thing that you can pretty much bet on if you like now let me give you a disclaimer. I've been in ceremony with people that didn't feel a damn thing, nothing at all. But, and I could probably do a whole video on that. Most of those people either really didn't follow any kind of deity, or their intention was like come to have fun, or it wasn't like a healing intention. And she's a healer. Ayahuasca is a healing purgative, not a fun type of medicine. It's a scrape it all the shit out of you and throw it up type of medicine. Okay, so yeah, come in with a healing intention, because that's what you're gonna get. And if she doesn't think you're ready, then you ain't gonna get it. And I don't know what other reasons could be. It could be medications, whatever, whatever. Maybe they smoked weed. You're not supposed to smoke weed for a couple of weeks. I've never had an experience where I didn't feel anything with ayahuasca. It's always been profound. It's always been beautiful. And I'm super grateful for every single one of them. All right. So the energy, I did a video on this the other day. It was tips for ceremony. The energy can be super um, uh, tight, not necessarily hard. Yes, it is kind of hard. It's kind of exhausting, but the energy can really be strong. Um, so you have to just be prepared and go ahead. I'm not going to do all this again, but go ahead and go to the ayahuasca tips for ceremony video if you want to learn how to get through these intense energetic moments. Okay, breathing and moving is basically the bottom line. Breathe. So you'll have some of those intense moments. You'll have to breathe through them. You'll have to move your body to get them out if you can become aware that it's actually happening. Sometimes you may just be kind of like, I've seen people, and I have just laid down in a ball and just stayed there all night and didn't move except to go to the bathroom and throw up. Um, Another thing is like the community aspect of the people at the retreat. Really, really beautiful time is when like in between cups or after ceremony, the next morning or whatever, once everyone is in between cups is beautiful. I'm gonna just go there. Um, a few of the girls had migrated outside because there was a small fire. It was raining that night, so we did the ceremony inside. Or maybe it wasn't raining, maybe it was just wet. I think the grass was just wet from raining that day. So we did an inside ceremony. But a few of us would walk outside, like in between cup, and just sit by the fire. And all of us were crying, and all of us were like, um, just being thankful. Like the girl on the side of me, I didn't, half the people spoke English, half the people spoke Spanish. We didn't understand each other for the most part, but we could feel each other completely. And the girl on the side of me was definitely Spanish, but she just kept looking at me saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And she was crying. And it was almost like she was activating something in me. I know this sounds strange, but like she was activating something within me because she was making me cry with every thank you. Every thank you, I was crying. And I don't even remember really like what was I going through. Like I think it was just like an honoring of her saying thank you. Like, thank you for saying thank you. Like, nobody says thank you to the shit that I do in real life. So thank you for saying thank you because I don't hear it often. I think that's really what the bottom line was. Just an honoring of her, and she was honoring me. She didn't even know me. Like, that's how beautiful this is. You get so connected with each other. And then there was a girl out there that was talking about, and her intention for her first ceremony was just peace. And that she realized how peace is just a piece. It's just a piece of light. Peace is not going to be every time, every moment is not going to be peace. It's just not possible. Like, we don't live in the angelic realms of, like where there's no duality. Like, peace is only a piece. So when we get okay with not being in peace is when we have peace. Like, there was just so much going on out there. It's such a beautiful community when you go. That's why I said you don't need friends because you'll meet people there. There were so many first timers at this last one. It was just really, and it was such a variety of culture. Like, it was like half Spanish, not half, probably 50% Spanish, 10 or 20% African American, and the rest white, or some mixture of white. um, it was really beautiful. I'd never seen so many African American people at a ceremony. I had, yeah, just met some really beautiful people. So the another thing that I wanted to kind of touch on was what I felt. So I did say that I peed on myself during ceremony sometimes. It's because when the energy is so intense, it's like it's coming from the depths of your soul. So if you don't have a completely young, strong bladder, sometimes you may pee on yourself because it's your whole everything is tense down there, right? Um, but it feels like to me now. This is just my experience. I don't know how everybody feels about this, but it feels to me like there's a scraping, like a scraping of programs, a scraping of societal norms, like a scraping of religion. Scrape, scrape, scrape. All the bullshit that we've been fed, all the programs, all the labels, all the if something's good or bad, all the judgments, all the attachments. It's like all of it is scraped all the way up through the body until it comes out of my mouth. Okay, so it's such a it's like dry heaves after dry heaves, and then something comes out. Like, where does it even come from? Like, I was like, how do I keep doing this? Like, it's just a trip. Such a beautiful medicine. So much profound respect for the medicine. You can't go back the same. You can't go back the way it was. You really can't. Once you have these experiences, you're like, you just can't go back. You have to find a new way of life. You have to find, that's why I just call it the medicine path, because it's like you have to find a different way to live. You don't have to you start transforming into a different way of living, really. Okay, I think that's enough. That's all I can really think about right now. I did make the other video on ceremony tips if you want to check that out. It's probably the last one I did a couple days ago, or maybe last week. So thank you for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Share it if you think you need to. Subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.